What's up guys, Justin DJI here, and in this video we are going to talk about how the new Apple Watch 4 is going to help you take better photos. So tips and tricks coming right up, so let's go! So in order to open up your camera application, go ahead and click the crown button, and then you're going to see all your applications right here. Find the one that's a camera, go ahead and click on it, and that will open up your camera on your cell phone right now. As you can see, it's pointed directly right at me. I have it off camera, pointing in that direction. But, okay, so that's how you open it. Tip number one. Set up your composition, make sure everything's right, and you could actually focus on your Apple Watch. All you need to do is just touch anywhere onto the screen, and a little yellow square will actually appear, and then it will get your focus down. Also, when you do the focus, it will set your exposure where your focus is. So that's pretty cool. Tip number two is just like your iPhone. When you hold down the shutter, it's going to take multiple, it's going to be in burst mode. Not as quick, but still, it's not like that rapid fire as your iPhone does, where you're just holding it down, it's just like that. Alright, so tip number three, you could actually go into the different modes on your cell phone, and your Apple Watch will allow it. So like right now we're on the 1x1 square, which is great for your Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, go ahead and check out my account. It's at Justin DJI. Super cool. Check it out. The next one, you could actually go into photos, which is normal, and then you can go into video. So sweet, so awesome, and your Apple Watch will support it. So you can record it straight from your Apple Watch. So set your phone off in the distance, get it just right, and get that B-roll of like you just walking by. You could even do slow-mo. Your Apple Watch will support that too. It is brilliant. And last but not least, your time lapse. So a lot of like great ways to like use your camera and your Apple Watch together. The only one that it will not support is the panorama. The reason being is because you actually need to hold your phone to move it all around to get that panorama photo. But it gives you the option down below to go back to your photo and just hit that, and then it'll change right over. Tip number four is actually a pretty neat one. When you go onto your Apple Watch and the photo, you have your focus down, your exposure's down. Now, if your camera is too far away, you can actually zoom in on it. So all you need to do is go to your crown and just zoom in on it. It's a little bit laggy, but you kind of see, yeah, it's super cool. Sorry, I'm looking off my monitor right now. But yeah, you could like zoom out completely, or zoom in really close. That's so cool. Oh, what a great invention. But yes, it is a little bit laggy. Totally cool in my books. So tip number five, we would have to go outside for this one. Just so we could test out the distance between the Apple Watch and the iPhone to take that photo. So let's go. Alright, so the camera is already in place. It is down there by the bushes. We're gonna go about like 10 paces and see where we're at. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Okay, 10 paces. From here to my camera, I already have it set up. It's still a good connection. I can still see the flash. So let's do another 10 pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully I could see that flash. Yeah, it's still going. So 20 paces right about now. Let's go another 10. See how far we can get this thing. 1, 2, 9, 10. All right, we're pretty far out there. Let's see. It says I can still see myself on the Apple Watch. I can't really see the flash because we're pretty far. That's how far we are. Let's try another 1:10. Let's try. I don't know if that's taking the photo. So my screen is completely blacked out, but let's see. Can I still look at the photo? No. So give it about like, I'm gonna say 20 to 30 paces away from your phone. Now it might be a little bit different for your pace because I'm about like 6'2", and my stride in my walk is a lot longer than other people. But you're gonna have to like test it out yourself because it might be like different results. I just wanted to like do this for you guys so you guys can actually see how far you could get away from your camera before it disconnects. Now I tried 50 paces and it completely lost connection of the phone. Bummer, but it's a cool experiment. So let me grab my cell phone and we'll go back. So let's go. Oh man. Alright, so tip number 6. Your Apple Watch will allow from going to portrait mode to landscape mode. See how that just like flips automatically when I turn my phone? That's so cool. Oh, it's brilliant, brilliant. Tip number 7, go to your Apple Watch and do a hard press or a 3D press. And then once you do, you will actually get more options. So we have flip your camera, we have flash, we have the HDR, and we have live. So you could actually pop that into the selfie and that will turn your camera around to the selfie mode. Go ahead and do a hard press again and it'll give you options for like the flash or the HDR. If you want to go into like HDR, it'll give you options for an auto, an on or off button. I typically leave it on because it's pretty nice. Different settings when you go into different modes. So if you go into video, you're just gonna get like 2 options rather than the photo with the 4 options. Tip number 8. I'm sure you guys are aware of this one. Screen capture. For the people that don't know how to screen capture on their Apple Watch, so all you need to do is just hit the crown and the recent app button at the same time. And then once you do, it'll screen capture it, whatever's on your screen. Now that photo will be automatically transferred into your iPhone album right there of the recent photos. Tip number 9, when you press your 3-second timer on your Apple Watch, your flash will give you indication that it's about to take the photo. So, tease! There we go. And simple as that. That way, when you set your camera up off in the distance, you will know that your iPhone's about to take the photo. Now, before I actually had the Apple Watch, I would set my phone off in the distance and do a 10-second timer. Majority of the time, I can't really tell that it's taken the photo, so I am just standing there waiting for the photos to be taken just like this. It's so ridiculous because like a really like cheesy 90 portrait. I don't know when exactly it's gonna take it. I just want to make sure that it does take it. But this is a really cool trick and that flash will definitely help you out because once it's done taking the photo, that flash will stop blinking. So last but not least, tip number 10. Tip number 10 is grabbing one of these bad boys right here. Now this is a Joby Gorilla Pod and it's great to do like a self-portrait. And the reason being is because if you set it up just right, you can actually angle this however you want. So if you want to set it like a 45-degree angle looking up at you, or better yet, angle this at like a 90-degree angle. That's straight up and down. See how it doesn't even fall? Now the notches of the tripod is actually holding the bottom of the phone, and the head of the tripod is holding the phone in its place. so I could see how like that works. It works out really, really well. So about like a month ago, I ended up getting the Apple Watch, and I wanted to get used to it. I wanted to find like the different little things you could do with it, and like this thing kind of like it rocks my world as like a photographer. Obviously with taking photographs. So this is going to help out greatly when I do a self-portrait for my thumbnail here on YouTube. In fact, my last video, which I'll put the link right here, that thumbnail I actually did with my Apple Watch and my iPhone. Yes! I didn't use the Gorilla Pod, but there was enough snow on the ground that I just pretty much set it up. I stuck it in the snow and I went off and I did like a 3-second timer. It works out amazing. It's a great tool. And as a photographer, this watch face I do right here will give me all the information I need for a great photograph. It gives me how many minutes I have left for the golden hour until like sunset or sunrise, depending on the day. It'll give me the moon phases, the earth phase, and just like the temperature. You having like the maps up here, so I can figure out where I'm going to get that great shot, as long as I have service on my cell phone and the Apple Watch. So that comes in handy very, very well as a photographer. It's a great tool. Also, when you set up a self-portrait using your phone and your Apple Watch, I would advise to use the back camera versus the front camera. A couple reasons being is because the back camera is a 12 megapixel camera versus the front-facing camera, which is a 7 megapixel camera. So the advantage of using the back camera is it's able to capture more details, and especially if you're using HDR. It'll grab your highlights, your shadows, and your midtones. Versus the front-facing camera, which it does a trick, but sometimes it doesn't. So stick with back-facing camera, and you'll get a better result. Alright, so that's it for the time being. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button. And if you want to see more of the videos that I produce, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But until then, I will see you all in the next video.